My boyfriend bought me a puppy I never wanted, so I said no.
What are you, a monster?
For context, I, 27 female, have always had pet dogs, cats, even birds that fell from their nests. I also rescued and rehomed tons of animals, but I've never kept a male pet. My mom didn't like them because of the whole peeing everywhere thing.
Wow.
But I guess I just got used to only having girl pets. Plus, I love using my dogs like pillows, and I'll admit the doggy boy parts that are always a little too present make me uncomfortable. By the way, this comes from Cicada Supremacy, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley, man.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We're just going to guess what we would do in this situation. But if you would do anything differently, then let us know in the comments. OP says, anyway, I've had my dog, let's call her Luna, since I was 17. She's my baby, and she 100% rules my life. She's not really friendly with kids, other dogs, or most men, but she at least kind of likes my boyfriend, 31 male of 2 years. So my birthday was a couple weeks ago. My boyfriend told me that he had a surprise, but it wasn't ready yet. Last Friday, I came home from work and found him in my apartment with a 2-month-old German Shepherd male puppy that he bought, complete with a balloon tied to its collar that said, "Happy birthday." He smiled and said, "Do you like him? He's our new son." Oh, so cute. I was shocked. The only words that came out were, "Where's Luna?" He had locked my dog in the bathroom because she growled at the puppy. I was furious. We argued for about 2 hours. I told him to take the puppy back with him and not to come back. He yelled some more and called me a misinterest because apparently not wanting male pets equals hating men. He also said that I was weird for being uncomfortable around dog peepees.
They are always peepees out.
They really are. When I told my friends and family, everyone sided with me. However, my boyfriend kept sending me videos of the puppy, saying that he didn't know what to do with it since his apartment doesn't allow pets, especially one that would grow so much, and begging me to take it just until he finds accommodations. He said I owed him because he spent so much money on the puppy and was planning for it to live with me anyway. I don't know if that means that you owe it to him.
Yeah.
I feel like OP should probably just do that. I don't think it's a big deal to not just do that. If it's not a dog that you're attached to, you don't have to lay on it and use it as a pillow.
Yeah, that's not what dogs are for.
OP is like, that's the only reason I get dogs.
Right, they're just pillows.
Do you know how expensive pillows are these days?
Yeah,
They're
cat
freaking
pillows,
expensive.
not comfortable.
Heated pillows, always breaking. Dog,
Yeah.
built-in heater.
Built-in heater. Its breath will kind of rock you to sleep in a way.
Gross.
Breathing stomach.
Gross. Now
That's
I
not
thought
gross.
of dog breath.
Okay,
Dog
well,
breath in my
dog breath
face.
is gross. But I don't want the puppy. My current dog definitely wouldn't accept him, and in the videos, I can already see how destructive he's becoming. On the other hand, the poor puppy is innocent in all of this. Should I just suck it up and keep him with me until my boyfriend, who technically didn't break up yet, finds somewhere else to take him? Also, the puppy represents everything I don't want in a pet. I feel like he's just bought himself a dog, but didn't really want to take care of it, so he acted like the puppy was my birthday present. So am I the a-hole for refusing to accept the puppy? Should I just take him in for a while? And there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, that was not a birthday present for you. That was a gift for himself. He gets you an expensive, high energy, need to train and socialize puppy and thinks he should get to peace out because it can't live with me. So he gets all the fun playing with the puppy he wants and sticks you with all the bills, the care, your elderly dog. I couldn't care less about your opinions on animal genitalia, but you spend more time talking about that than the fact that he locked your elderly dog away in her own home without you there and called it a gift. How much do you...
Oh, boo-hoo. The dog was in another room, right?
The dog was in another room.
I wouldn't call that locking away your elderly dog.
Well, I
It was
mean,
just in a different room. For how long?
I don't know.
Hours.
That's a good question. We don't know.
Eternity, because it's for an unknown amount of time. Eternity.
I think if you had left the dog outside in the cold, the rain,
In a box.
if you had gone out of your way to, like, not, I don't know. That just seems like extra.
Yeah.
Be like, and you put the dog in a room?
Well,
Hey, put a dog in the room.
honestly, I do wonder, like, if the elderly dog, like, just growled at the puppy and there wasn't any sort of, like, attempt to kind of make the dog feel better about it. That is an important thing that you pay attention to. When you get a new dog, you want to make sure that the other dogs aren't gonna, like, right? Like, you want to make sure that they're gonna get along. But
Also, you're bad at training your dog, girl. I'm gonna say it. That's on you.
how much do you want a boyfriend that you think any of this is acceptable? Comment number 2 says, if he really wants to keep the puppy, he can get a new apartment. It would be a pain, but it is totally doable. He would just have to make it happen and then actually take care of the puppy. Comment number 3 says, I support adopt, don't shop. So I would be appalled if someone bought me a dog. OP says, it shocked me because I'm not the kind of people who would ever buy a dog. But when we were on our first few dates, I literally got out of the car and into a drain because I saw a little orange kitten. I cut our date short and took the kitten to the vet. He called me the next day to say that he was so moved by my love for animals, and that's literally how we became official. So it baffles me that he thought that this was okay. Or maybe he tried to use my love for animals against me. We do have an edit to clarify some things. Some people seem to think that I'm obsessed with dogs' genitalia, and LOL, I'm not. The issues with the puppy ranking are, I don't want another dog because I have a dog. I don't want to raise a puppy ever again. I don't want to own a dog that was bought. I don't like large breeds. I don't want a male dog because I prefer female dogs. The only reason I included that I don't like dogs' peepees is because I don't want that in my house. I don't lose sleep over it, but I prefer the smooth belly female dogs have. What I told my boyfriend was something along the lines of, you disregarded everything I believe in a pet to the extent that you even brought a male dog when I told you that it wasn't my intention to even own one. Then he called me weird and misinterest. That's the only reason that I included that part in my post. But in my attempt to keep everything short, I didn't include all that. And for the people telling me to grow up and say wiener, there it is. I wasn't sure if I was able to say that. My only knowledge...
Grow up and say no.
Which is actually really funny.
You said the medical one. That's the grown-up one.
Because we can't say that. So
yeah.
Wiener isn't actually the right word because we can't be adults on this channel.
P-E-N-I-N-I-S.
But she did say it in other places and we didn't block that out. My only knowledge of Reddit were videos on TikTok with bad gameplay of Subway Surfers in the background. So there's that. If you want me to clarify something else, please let me know. And one reason, but not the only reason, I don't particularly like male dogs is because my uncle had a male Rottweiler, very aggressive, and one time at my grandma's house, he jumped on me. I was like 5 or 6, and he tried to hump my face with his red rocket all out.
No!
Yes, it freaked me out.
Not the paninas.
Not the paninas.
Ah.
Not the excited paninas.
So really, after all of that, you're like, it's your childhood trauma.
It's your
that
trauma.
You don't like male dogs.
That would have been a better clarification.
Yeah.
It was trauma.
You're traumatized.
Yeah.
That's traumatizing.
But
also, do you know why Rottweilers are so aggressive by nature?
Why?
They were bred to defend and pull meat sleds in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if anyone came scrounging around trying to take the meat, they'd go and they'd rip them apart and then add them to the meat cart.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing though, is that female dogs will hump you too. They just won't have a red rocket in your face. That's all. That's the only thing. But the humping is a dominance thing. It's not
paninas.
But anyway, so my grandma had to get rid of the dog after that. She had a large property in another city, and that's where they took him because nobody wanted their kids near the dog. So there's the backstory. And we do have an update. I think we should just jump right in. So I didn't want to update before talking to both my therapist and psychiatrist. So here we go. First of all, the puppy is fine. The day after my original post, my neighbor texted me around 2 p.m. because she heard loud noises from my apartment. She has a spare key. She and Luna are besties and often go on walks when she works from home. So she offered to check. Turns out the puppy was inside and Luna was just sitting on the couch glaring at the puppy like she was personally offended. I told my boss that I had a family emergency and rushed home. My neighbor had been entertaining the puppy, but my apartment was trashed. She agreed to take the puppy for a few hours while I cleaned. I realized a lot of the mess didn't look like it was from the puppy. Some of the papers seemed sheared and not a single tooth mark. I went to building management and they showed me camera footage. My ex-boyfriend walking in with the puppy, staying 20 minutes and leaving. I had them remove him from the visitor list and they even offered to change my locks. I panicked a little and called my mom, who told me to either call my godfather or find a local shelter. My godfather said that he'll call his friends, many of whom have large breed experience. Meanwhile, my neighbor brought the puppy back, tired from the park. I'll admit he was adorable. A few hours later, my godfather called to say one of his friends, a German Shepherd lover with 2 already, wanted to adopt him. This is great. We're finding a place for him.
Like, yeah, that's getting the dog adopted by someone else, not an issue.
Not an issue.
Just, no need to stress about that
Happened easy
at
peasy.
all.
Puppy's name is Kai now, and apparently my godfather's friend has tons of experience training big breeds. As for my ex, I decided to call his mom because I still had him blocked. If you guessed that he was jealous of Luna, you'd be correct. He wanted to move in with me. He thought Luna wasn't manly enough, and that a German Shepherd would make me see reason. His plan was basically I'd find 2 dogs too much work, and I would get over my obsession with Luna, that's in quotes, by leaving her with my mom. Yes, really. His own mom told him that she was disappointed and that she didn't raise him to be sneaky and selfish. Good on that mom.
It's also like the dumbest idea ever.
Yeah.
That she would be like, okay, the brand new dog is the dog I will now take care of instead of the one I've had forever.
Yeah, seniority counts when you're thinking about which dog you got to get rid of.
Yeah.
The one you've had for longer,
Come on, dog.
that's going to be the one that stays. Okay. I told him that we were done and that Kai had already been rehomed to a loving family. He tried to get mad about me rehoming his dog, but his mom reminded him that the puppy was a gift and I could do whatever I wanted with him. I hugged her goodbye and haven't spoken to him since. By the way, you could always speak to us in the comments section of full episodes with more stories just like this one. Go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime. You can speak with us. We can pretend to speak to you, but it's not quite the same, but you can pretend.
Well, I'll do it right now. No way, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh. That's such a good point that you made.
Whoa.
Great job.
Whoa, you should not tell that to anybody. You need to keep that very close to the vest. Maybe talk to a lawyer.
But we do have a little bit more into the story, but yeah, good riddance. He definitely is red-pilled if he's thinking that whatever dog she has, I don't remember the breed, is not manly enough, and a German Shepherd would be better.
Yeah, that dog's not manly enough.
It's not manly enough.
I want the dog associated with the worst guy ever. Yeah.
We do have more to the story. I also talked this through with both my therapist and psychiatrist. I talked to them about the whole situation, and both agreed separately that having preferences is not wrong. As long as I'm not harming animals because of their gender, then there's nothing wrong with not wanting them. Right now, I'm at my mom's house with Luna, using some PTO to rest and recover. This whole thing was exhausting, but at least it ended with Kai in a good home and one less toxic boyfriend in my life. There is an edit to clarify. I called my ex's mom and told her a summary of what happened. She told me that she was going to call him and tell him to come see her the next day, and then she'd let me know when he was with her so we could talk. After our discussion, I hugged her goodbye and left. And that's the end of that story.
My fiancé wants to name our daughter after his deceased ex. Should I let him?
Oh boy, what a question.
I, 23 female, met my fiancé, 27 male, when I was 19 in college 4 years ago. I'm currently 7 months pregnant. We're having a planned pregnancy, and our daughter is due in October. By the way, this comes from user Throwaway Marley Raw. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
And we were here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. So we only know what we'd do. If you would do something else, let us know in the comments. OP says, my fiance had a high school sweetheart who he dated from freshman year until his sophomore year in college. She passed away due to breast. I never knew her, but in the beginning of our relationship, he never failed to mention how she was a beautiful person. He admitted to me that he had always wanted to marry her and imagined them having kids. He loves me very much and has always been a great partner. Recently, we were on the topic of baby names. I am mixed, Ivorian and Brazilian, and my fiancé is from Costa Rica. I was thinking of the name Antonia, but I was definitely open to other options. He suggested we name our daughter after her. Not as a middle name, not a Gracie Ann kind of thing where you have 2 names, but as her first name. His ex's name is very unique and not something common where it could be nicknamed differently or not be a direct tribute to her. I believe her name is a cultural name as well, and neither of us are from that culture. I told him I'd be fine with it being her middle name or even a nickname, but he told me he really wanted to make her name his ex's. I want to make it clear that I have nothing against the idea of naming kids after lost loved ones, but just not my first baby. I have a strong feeling that our daughter is going to look just like me, which will make it more awkward. He just came home from work and is in a really good mood. I feel tense writing this next to him. Any advice, please? please.
Conversation is always good. I feel like it'd be good to find out like why exactly we would want that. I can assume why, but it would be good to hear him put it in words, to hear like specifically why. Like, would he see it as her reborn in a way? Or
God, I
would
hope
he
not.
see it, yeah, right? Or would he see it, I don't know, as like just some sort of tribute? Would this change his mind of how he would view the kid or view OP? What other ways does his grieving still like linger and affect his everyday life? I have a lot of questions.
I think the way that you could approach this is just being like, look, I understand
Mhm.
what happened with her. And she's gone. You want to do something special to pay tribute to her. But this is our child.
Yeah.
And given the way that you continue to express that you feel
Mhm.
about your, ex who passed away, I feel like that's not the way to pay tribute to her in a way that's respectful to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what the internet has to say. Commenter 1, yeah, I wouldn't want my partner doing that, to be honest. Nothing personal, just like you said. Not the first baby, and definitely not the first name, especially if it isn't common or doesn't fit your cultural background. I thought the same thing, says OP. His ex was Middle Eastern, and I'm half Latina, and he is Latino. The questions regarding her name would be endless. Commenter 2 says, I think it's perfectly fine for him to ask, and it's perfectly fine for you to not want it. Names for a baby of a couple are a 2-yes situation. However, I do find it a bit odd that you feel a specific type of way since this is your first baby, rather than any baby, but I guess that's not the topic here. OP says, I am conflicted about naming my firstborn after her because what if this is the only girl I have? Or if I can't conceive after this, I've always wanted a daughter, and I really wanted her to have a meaningful name. Not that naming her after his ex isn't meaningful. Commenter 3, did he grieve her properly? It's okay to talk about her, but still talking a lot about how beautiful she is and how he wanted to marry her and have kids with her feels like it's too much. You are 7 years or so past when she passed on, but you should dig into what he did regarding grieving and how he got back into the dating scene. You being so young when you got together after a major traumatic loss for him is concerning as well. Is the age gap horrible? It's kind of borderline at that age, but add in the trauma he went through and I wonder. It's tough to navigate loss of a serious significant other, so just make sure you both are going in with your eyes wide open to how he's truly managed his grief. How adamant is he about this? If he's really pushing for it, you two need to get to counseling as soon as possible. You're being very kind, suggesting her name or a variant be linked to a middle name, but I'd be wary he'd call your kid by their middle name. OP replies, he is still open to names, but he's brought up naming her after his ex maybe twice. He used to visit her grave in the beginning of our relationship years ago, but doesn't anymore. He doesn't bring her up often. Honestly, calling my shot, he's still visiting that grave. He's just not telling you about it. Why would he? Well, I mean, yeah, imagine that. It's like you visit your ex's grave and it's like, you're not going to go home and be like, hey, honey, I was at her grave again today. It's like he probably picked up that you were uncomfortable by it and we're like, all right, well, I just won't tell her about it.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know?
True. It's possible.
I don't know. Grief can last for a long time.
For sure.
Grief is complex.
Mhm.
I've talked to him before about his feelings towards her, and I think it's clear that he is very into me and doesn't still love her, but I'm so confused as to why he would suggest it. On the idea that OP's boyfriend is probably not done with grieving the passing of his late girlfriend, OP replies, you think? I really hope he is ready for the responsibility of being a dad, more importantly a husband, but I really hope he isn't still stuck on her. And there's an update. Update starts with bad news, good news. What do you think the bad news is?
I'm so nervous. What do I think it is? I think he's still hung up on her. I don't actually know. I have no idea, I think.
Bad news, he's been lying and he's still going to the grave. Good news, he's open to not making your child named after her.
Hopefully.
That's my guess.
There's a lot of ways that this could go, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is interesting that like if he is supposedly over it, I'm sure there's still love for her. I wouldn't guess that he doesn't love her anymore. I don't think it's that. Maybe that's just kind of a way to communicate that, like, you know, maybe he's still like attached to her or something like that. Maybe that's what she was trying to say.
It was recommended to my fiance, and he read it and connected the dots.
Uh-oh.
He knew it was him. He saw my username, and he knows I love Mally Raw, the producer, and it was quite obviously me. Awkward. He wasn't upset.
Okay.
That's the good news. And I insisted that he only asked because he thought it would be a good gesture. He's completely open to therapy and marriage counseling. I still feel very iffy about this whole situation, and if things don't go well in marriage counseling and I don't get the honesty I need, it's wraps. Good news, my daughter will be named Antonia, not Isra-sama, which is his ex's name. Ooh. I won't lie, being pregnant and reading through some of these comments hurt, but perhaps you lot were right. Maybe I need to realize the truth. Hopefully positive updates coming soon. Comment number 1. Oh, good, because it's honestly a huge red flag he wanted to name your child after an ex. And definitely need to do therapy before getting married. Are you sure he has grieved his ex properly? I'd hold off getting married anytime soon. A downvoted comment says, there are so many beautiful ways to honor someone you've lost without intertwining their memory with your child's identity. Perhaps creating a foundation in her name, supporting a cause she cared about, or writing a tribute could be more meaningful ways to keep her memory alive. Your daughter deserves to be celebrated purely for who she is, carrying forward your shared future, not someone else's past. Sending you strength as you navigate this conversation. That was downvoted? I went in with a funny voice because I thought it was going to be a bad comment. That wasn't really that bad at all.
It's a great comment. It's very true.
Who downvoted that?
Riley.
Okay, some more comments from the Best of Redditors Update. Comment 1. I've heard multiple stories of men naming their daughters after their exes and affair partners. I wonder why they do it. Can we just acknowledge Isra-sama is a dope name?
It is a pretty cool name.
Isra-sama.
Can you imagine? He's like, well, I mean, I really had that name picked out before I dated her, and then now it has this meaning,
Yeah.
but like, I still really like that name.
But honestly, Antonia is also a
I know, I really like that name,
cool
too.
name.
I like it
Whoa,
too.
I hit the Mongolian throat singing note there for like
You did.
a quarter second.
You did.
Dang,
Someone clip that.
Isra-sama brought it out of me.
Yep.
Reply. I think it's a bit weird because assuming they thought the deceased were attractive and dated them and likely had the spicy relations with them, like why would you remind yourself of that with a child? I don't really like naming after people anyway. Middle names are fine, but it always ends up being a fuss with families dictating that multiple babies should have which name, getting salty about not having passed on the legacy, blah, blah, blah. I'm biased though. My family has a weird competition thing with naming their kids after my great-granddad. I never met him, but he was apparently a very decent and kind man. But that's not the issue. The problem is people expect a massive amount of praise and adoration for doing it. They do it for that reason. It's bizarre. My uncle had 3 more kids in his late 50s, and I know he named the son after his grandfather to get back in his mother's good graces. Didn't work, though. She's hateful. Doesn't really care for him or his younger children. She only likes his firstborn son, so go figure. Comment 2 says, nothing says you love your wife like naming your child after someone you'd rather have had kids with. To be clear, I don't think that you should name your daughter with OP after your ex.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think it's necessarily like it's just like I want to constantly be reminded that I liked this person better than you. I don't know. It's complicated. I think grief and that kind of stuff is complicated. I think he can be moved on and still want to do that. But at the same time, it can be, you know, as soon as your current partner goes, yo, that's weird and I don't like that, you got to go, all right, totally fair.
Yeah. And I
totally
feel like
understandable. I just wanted to
even-
float it because the name is also so cool.
Yeah. I feel like it also doesn't necessarily mean that he likes the ex more than his current wife. Like,
Right.
I feel like
It doesn't. I really don't think it
yeah,
does.
exactly. It just means that he's just grieving. That's all.
Yeah. Another reply says, not just that, but she is passed away. This isn't someone he broke up with or who moved away. She is gone forever, enshrined as someone flawless in his mind. Reply, honestly, I'd say it would be worse if she wasn't passed away. I agree.
Well, yeah.
Imagine naming your child after the one who got away who is still out there. At least a passed away woman isn't going to run into you one day, wondering why the heck her ex of over 7 years married and still named his baby after her. Comment 3. Children should not be used as living memorials for someone's grief, specifically in a situation like this. It's not fair to anyone involved. Reply, in Ashkenazi tradition, children are named for the deceased, but not those that passed away tragically young. That's bad luck. It would be one thing if the name was for a grandmother or aunt and counterbalanced by someone long-lived, but dad's tragically young girlfriend is no bueno. And that's the end of that story.
My boyfriend demanded I comfort him after he failed to do the same to me.
What did he do? Hug you with sandpaper?
My boyfriend, 41 male, or ex now, I guess, has been fighting with me, 40 female, this whole week. 3 giant blow-ups since Tuesday night with minor ones in between, and I've just had enough. By the way, this comes from Great Value Popcorn. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We're just here to say what we would do in these situations, but let us know if you would do the same or something different in the comments below. So, OP says, now to explain why I might not be getting the cake. We all live together in a studio and he has 2 daughters, 11 and 14. His youngest birthday is today, Monday the 8th. As of writing this at 3 in the morning at around 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, he told me that he's leaving this coming weekend. I was confused. I thought maybe he was going to visit someone, maybe his mom, since her health hasn't been great. So I asked him to explain. And he said that he's just leaving this weekend and he's not coming back. Huh? What?
Well, I guess that means it's over.
I'm not leaving on a trip. I'm leaving you.
I'm leaving forever.
I was just like, okay, that's your decision, I guess. He wouldn't say where he was going, just that he's leaving and he won't have to pay anything to live there. And that's when he started berating me. What? So many insults came at me. I didn't know what to do. So I just kept saying to go. I don't care. I'll give him back partial rent and he can leave. He's pissed about having to pay rent here. He holds it over my head all the time. For 4 years, I've been dealing with these types of blow-ups, and somehow I got roped into taking care of his 2 kids on a regular basis. This includes driving them everywhere, to and from school, the store, playgrounds, anywhere. I also spend my EBT, I'm disabled, on them. And any money that I've gotten, at least some of it has gone to him or the kids. I'm the only one that cooks real meals. I'm the one who does most out of the cleaning. But to him, no, I'm lazy. All of this, and he still expects me to pick up his kids this week and get the cake. But what if I didn't? His actions are going to directly impact his kids. Okay, I'm guessing one of the kids' birthdays coming up. This is the cake that we're getting.
That's the cake.
Cake for the youngest kid.
And we can eat it too. You know
Well, not if he leaves.
Not if he leaves.
Then he can't. And he's going to tell them that I've always hated their guts and I'm doing this to spite them. He said that that's what he's going to tell them if I don't get the cake. That is so insane. That's like sociopath behavior. If you don't get this cake after doing everything else, I'm going to tell the kids that you've always hated them. If you don't get them their birthday cake.
What a terrible father.
That is so terrible.
If you don't get them this cake, I'm going to traumatize my children emotionally.
Yeah.
And because you care about them more than me,
yeah,
I know you're going to have to relent.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
So what am I supposed to do? I've got 12 hours to decide. Would I be the a-hole if I didn't do it and his daughter suffers from his behavior? Is this going too far? There is an edit, since I think I confused some people. He's not leaving now, it's not the weekend, so 5 days from now. He's still expecting me to do all these things while he's still here, including the cake. Also, his kid's mother is in the picture, but they live here the majority of the time. We do have an update, but what would you do?
I'd be telling him to get out of the freaking house.
Yeah.
Is he on the lease? Is he legally, like, entitled to be there? Because if
Good
he's
question.
not, I'd be like, you can go ahead and move out right now.
Right.
You can go ahead and collect your things, move out, take the kids to mom's place.
Yeah, or wherever
know?
you're going.
Tell him whatever you want. You're no longer a part of my life.
Yeah.
Any damage you do to your children is not my fault.
I think you could say or give a little note to the kids or something of like,
Yeah.
just, hey, by the way, I really love you. Your dad told me that if I didn't do some things, then he would tell you that I really don't like you, or he would say a lot of mean things saying that I said those mean things, but I
Yeah.
assure you that that's not the case. Your dad just wasn't treating me very nicely. So
Get a kid-proof letter for that.
yeah, exactly.
You know, where it's just like, we are fighting, we are grown-up fighting,
Mhm.
and sometimes grown-ups fight, and they say things to try to hurt the other grown-up that
Right.
might accidentally hurt the kids.
Right.
So I'm writing you this so that you never accidentally think that I hate you.
Yeah.
I don't.
This is proof. But we do have an update. So, obligatory thank you for all the comments. It really helps me sort through my emotions and make the decision to get the cake. It wasn't her fault, and who am I to ruin her birthday? My thoughts are a bit jumbled, so things may be out of order here, but first things first. Last week, my grandmother took a turn for the worse. I've been caring for her, being there if she needed something, doctor's appointments, etc. But Friday, my mom and I came home and found her in the kitchen, unable to form words, confused and scared. We just had a nurse there a couple hours prior, and she was talking fine. Her health issues are aplenty, but this was completely new and completely out of nowhere. So I took responsibility for her medications over the weekend. The on-call doctor said that she didn't need to go to the hospital. I don't know why, so we managed at home until we heard from her primary who said that she should go. Sunday afternoon, paramedics took her to the hospital. I bring this up because of what happened mid-Monday morning after my first post. I was coming back home and my mom called me. Apparently, doctors are now saying that she is at her end-of-life stage and she is to come home, will be kept comfortable, and is predicted to pass away within the next week. Oh my gosh, and this is the week that he's leaving too. So much in 1 week. Oh my goodness. So of course, I'm crying when I walked into my apartment where my soon-to-be ex is sitting. I'm still talking to my mom about plans and how things are expected to go. He hears me. I know he hears me. And when I get off the phone, he asks what's going on and I tell him. He gives me a touch of sympathy, and I just told him that this will be one of the hardest weeks of my life. She's expected to pass away. I will be caring for her around the clock with her nurses, and he's been arguing with me, and now I have to deal with him leaving and the stress of that. This is the perfect time for him to blame me, I guess. But whatever, I just let him talk. I had been up for nearly 24 hours straight. I'm exhausted. I'm hurting, and my gosh dang period just showed up. So F you, bro. Shut up. What would he even think to blame you for in that moment? What could he come up with? So creative. He's gotta be. Oh my
You
goodness.
were born.
You were born.
Boo.
Ah.
It's your fault.
I just really don't like that you're crying around me. It really is bringing down the mood, and frick you for that, honestly. So I left for an hour or so. When I got back, I find him crying on the bed. I feign empathy and ask what's wrong. Apparently, his mom is in the hospital. She's been having mental health issues and went MIA for a couple weeks. Her apartment was a mess. She hadn't been paying rent, and his sister is trying to get power of attorney because she's deemed a danger to herself and others. I don't know what the F is going on, and he's trying to get me to comfort him. All I can do is sit there, stare off into the distance, and silently cry. And I'm not sad. I'm effing angry. I'm angry at him for wanting me to do what he was unwilling to do for me as I talked about my grandma. The longer I listened, the more upset I got, and I distanced myself, eventually just tuning it out and letting him deal with his emotions on his own. I can't handle him and mine at the same time. Anyway, we've both gathered ourselves, and it comes time to pick up his kid and the cake. She wanted to choose her cake, so I took them to the store, but I stayed in the car. I was so tired, I passed out for the time that they were in there and woke up to my own snoring just before they got back. Thankfully, that gave me just enough energy to get back home. We got back home. I pretended everything was normal. We did the cake when his oldest got home. She's in middle school and gets out an hour later. We lit the candles, sang happy birthday, opened gifts. Happy moment for the kiddos. Once everyone was settled with their cake, I slipped away to my mom's side of the house to get some sleep. I managed to message the kid's mom using an old Facebook account I had. I'd forgotten I reached out to her before on there and told her what's up. A lot of people were asking about her in the comments, and we had always been friendly with each other, but my soon-to-be ex filled my head with a lot of crap about her. That she was harmful, neglectful, didn't like the kids, and I just spilled all of this crap about everything he's said to me. In fact, he's said this about multiple exes. I should have seen this coming, but I'm a little too trustful. It turns out it's all lies.
Lies and deception.
Lies, Zamanelli. Today, Tuesday morning, I took his youngest to school. Her mom wasn't able to get here early enough to do it, so I did it for her. Not for him. She's going to have to pick up the slack, miss work, etc., so I could do it one more time. Afterwards, soon-to-be ex is sitting on the other side of the room with his oldest, and I'm eavesdropping. What's he doing? Bashing me to her. How he was the one helping me, and that sometimes you help someone and it blows up in your face. And that I'm punting him out. I'm the reason he won't see her for a while. I'm the reason he'll be homeless. But he was the one to tell me that he's leaving. So I messaged their mom and just asked her to tell them the truth. And by the way, I will always tell you the truth when I say that you can listen to full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
That's right.
There's a little bit more to the story, but, well, I'm glad that maybe the mom can do something with the kids and can, reassure them of the truth.
I think at this point, you put on a bunch of green witch makeup and you put on the pointy hat.
Yeah.
And you just go around going,
yeah.
I'm making your dad homeless. Yeah. And then the kids will be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She really was a witch.
There you go.
She was a witch the whole time.
And then you
this
go,
is crazy.
You
Yeah,
just
no.
do that thing, and then you leave.
And then you go, get out of my house.
Right.
No, all you can do is just be like, well, this guy is a cartoonishly bad father. He's literally emotionally scarring his children
Yeah.
by saying this stuff to them
Yeah, dude.
and giving them trust issues. So I think all you can do is just tell the ex-wife and like, look, he's saying all this stuff. Can you please set it right with your kids that I don't think that way and that their father's a scumbag?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There is a little bit more to the story. So the big fat cherry on top, he's now backtracking to me, saying that he never said that he was leaving, and then he said he didn't know if he was leaving. He's, quote, scared of what's going to happen. He doesn't know this person he's been talking to or if they'll even let him live there. But I told him, tough effing crap. Maybe, just maybe, if you didn't make your bed, you wouldn't be lying in it right now. Pack up and go. So here we are. A lot can happen in 24 hours, I guess. I can't wait until this weekend comes. I'll be spending most of my time with my grandma or my mom, and he can be here alone, taking care of what needs to be taken care of. And in the future, somewhere out there, there's going to be a woman who thinks that I chased him with a chainsaw. And that's the end of that story.